Matt,
Yes, Matt.
welcome
Thank you so much.
to the inaugural. Inaugural? I don't even know if that's the right word.
Probably.
To the first, hopefully successful Dustbowl Decks recording.
Hell yeah.
Obviously,
Pleasure to be here.
we
Yes.
have been here before,
Mhm.
but not moving.
It was a test run.
It was
It
a test. Well, it was a test stall.
We hadn't used the equipment before. That was all new. I mean, everything was basically new, right? So the car, that wasn't new, but there was some troubles. Or what was perceived to be troubles.
Yes.
And then, it didn't turn out to be that bad, eh?
No. No, as you say, it was good to have a bit of a dummy go.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to listening to music through speakers and not your
Yes.
tiny phone, although it was
Yes.
very useful on the day.
Uh-huh.
So firstly, thank you for doing this with
My
me.
pleasure,
thank
brother.
you for being here. For context, to people watching, I met Matt only a few weeks ago, really.
2 or 3, yeah.
And just the way you were describing something, and I think you used the word dichotomy, and from then I was sold, which shows how low my standards are. No, but I really resonated with you, and you're obviously a musical man, I shared my idea with you to do this, and you at least told me that you're very keen to give it a shot. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like the idea, and I think through the process of finding songs for myself, it's interesting. Like it showed me something about the connection between the songs that I picked, which I didn't really pick up on before. So even the process of researching what I was going to pick for the day was just an interesting process. So
good.
I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Yeah, I think you raise a good point. I think that the songs that we choose, although we're going to talk about the context of why we love that song, for maybe the time that song became one of your favourites. Actually, the context in which you choose the songs is quite interesting, because obviously we all go through different phases of what we're resonating with and whatnot. And
100%.
So obviously I'm incredibly excited and curious to know what you've brought with you. So
all right, should I put it on?
Yes, let's get straight into it. What's your first song?
So first song is "To Build a Home" by Cinematic Orchestra.
Okay.
You've heard this before,
I have.
I think, right?
Yeah. Through your phone, of course.
Yes.
There is a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls, and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel this is a place where I feel at home. It's time her skin, I climbed to the top. I climbed the tree to see the world. When the guys came around to blow me down, held on as tightly as you held on me. Held on as tightly as you held on me.
Okay, there you have it. Beautiful song, huh?
Beautiful song.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, really hits home every time. No pun intended. Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you choose it? Why is it? Yeah. Why did you bring it on the car journey?
It's so I think I heard it before I went on this trip, but I went to Peru to do ayahuasca, and this song I was actually walking up. What's the mountain called?
I know, but I'm not going to tell you.
Machu Picchu.
Yes.
Yes, Machu Picchu. I was walking up Machu Picchu, and there was just a moment on there where I put on this song, and it just hit me different. And I think we've talked about this before, but I think the context in which you hear the song is almost integral to how you relate to it. It's not like if you were to hear that song in another situation, it might not hit you, and then you might just not listen to the song again.
Yeah.
You know, but this hit me at this particular point where I was just feeling, I guess, a mixture of elation from the climb and a bit of melancholy of just sort of getting existential and thinking like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? And just all those sort of biggish questions. And it just hit me at that time. And yeah, and so that's why I chose it. It just sort of carried me through that experience, I think.
And it's, I mean, obviously it's such a beautiful song, and it's, I mean, what I love about it is how it builds. Essentially, is what I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
And and so when I was imagining you climbing Machu Picchu, it was that very kind of
ascending
metaphorical
sort of,
thing of you know, ascending to something and building up something.
Yes.
And we discussed as well, you know, building a home and then you watch it fall to dust. I'm not sure of the exact lyrics.
Yeah. Yep. I resonate with that. That idea, just in general, of because I got a home a couple of years ago now, and I can feel sometimes it can have a bit of a grip on you. You know, you can get almost attached to it, like attached to the safety of it, and there's a big part of letting go of that, of obviously using it as a foundation to build something from, but not to use it as a comfort, you know, or not to rely on it as a place to just leisure about and do nothing, you know. So that's, you know, I've felt ebbs and flows of that type of dynamic of, to build a home is a safety and it's a security, and I think metaphorical to having that home within yourself, somewhere where you can always return to. But yeah, and I think, as this song beautifully illustrates, it's about giving that metaphorical space over to somebody else, being vulnerable with it, not having it to yourself, and kind of concealing it, is, you know, something's only really valuable and if it's given away. You know, it's got no value if it's just for me.
Yes. Okay.
And I think, yeah, it's to me, the song is about in developing, building, and growing those structures within yourself, and then letting them fall down and giving them out, and
like weave their way into society.
Okay. Yep.
And on the topic of home, then, obviously the song being to build a home, was there anything about that ascent of Machu Picchu that was homely? Like, was there anything, even if it was just mentally you're at home, or could you maybe kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, just after that experience, ironically, I left home in the camper van for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So you could essentially say homeless, you know,
Yes.
which is and it's weird, they kind of come in tandem, but I wanted to feel at home with that homelessness. It's I wanted to let go of the safety and comfort of what I knew, and there is a home I think you can find in that. Paradoxically, I think you can find safety in the unknown if you kind of let go into it.
Yeah.
And so I think that I did find that there. But it wasn't home in a secure place. It was home with the unknown, as esoteric as that sounds. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely understand that, and I resonate with that as well, because I've actually been someone who's never really felt so much like attachment to a physical home, and like only until my mum had sold our childhood home, I sobbed. But until that moment, it just never really felt like anything, because of course home is, as they say, a bit cringy, but home is where the heart is. And yeah, I think that I see a lot more value in feeling at home, like this is my home, you know. It's my body, it's who I am.
Yes.
And so to build a home, really, for me, the song, from hearing that, it's very much about, like, this is a place where I think the lyric is, this is a place where I feel alone, or even, but it's the place where I feel everything about a home is me.
Yes. And you can bring that wherever you go. If you stay in touch with it.
Yeah. And I think there's, like, you know, I think it's very almost like, it feels like a stereotype to say when you're climbing a mountain and you have these songs, but there is something so special about reaching the top of a mountain, literally, and hearing music in that moment and then kind of translating that into your life as well. Because it is an incredible feat to reach the top of a mountain, and it has been for centuries and centuries and centuries, and it was often once something that was completely integral to survival. And I think that we do have something instilled in us as humans of when we reach the summit.
And we use that as a metaphor all the time. Like to reach the summit or to climb a mountain. You know, we use that to substitute a lot of our experiences a lot of the time. And there's a reason, you know, why, is because it's such a almost an archetypal experience to climb a mountain and reach the peak. And so this song just kind of made me, or prompted me to feel at home with being homeless. I think is to summarize it. I think that's what it gives me when I hear it.
Awesome.
All right. So this one is Hideaway by Jacob Collier.
Okay.
Have you heard of Jacob Collier before?
I think
He's an English guy, Londoner.
Ex-girlfriend Lisa likes him. Yes. I think I might be wrong.
So he's very much a musician's musician. He's my favorite artist. I mean, I don't even vibe with everything that he does, but if you were to look at his song list and what he's created, it's so diverse and all over the place, and that's one of the reasons I like him. He's not afraid to genre hop and just be bold with whatever he does. So this is his song called Hideaway, and this is what I was talking about before of the commonality between these songs. Is it's got a lot to do with sort of home or hideaway, or I've hideaway. I really find my deepest moments and my deepest moments in solitude, and so songs that really hit that for me, they really resonate, because it's something that I've resonated with myself. So
why do you think that you lean towards isolating music or isolation? Just to expand on that, sorry. If I know you're ready to give it. Is there a moment where you can remember that your music taste started to kind of form into something that was more about isolation than it was about being ecstatic?
Yes, and I think those two things aren't mutually exclusive necessarily. Like some songs about that can be ecstatic, they don't need to be all somber. But my music tastes, I was, when I was a teen, I was very much into rap and hip hop and that sort of stuff, and I used to freestyle rap like in the car a lot with my mates. Like, that was my vibe. And then I guess in my early 20s, like 19 onwards, I just started to love philosophy, I guess, and I really had a few friends that I could just talk with hours about, and it's just it made me quite contemplative, and I enjoyed being in my own mind, and I never really felt a lot of people I think don't do well when they're in their own mind, and that's like a big problem people talk about, is like being in their head, and always connotating that with being a bad thing. And sometimes that's the case for me, but my head's a great place. I love being in my head.
I don't doubt that for a second.
It's and so I really in my early 20s, I just did some exploring in there and found some pretty cool things for myself. And so that's the way that I've lent, and it's it's a double-edged sword. I think the solitude thing, like it's allowed me to really get a nice foundation in myself, who I am and what I'm about, like without helplessly reflecting off other people. Because when you're a teenager, you can't help it. You're just in a clique, and you can't help but mimic what other people are doing. And then it's here I am, sort of in my early 20s, just going, well, what of myself did I have a part in building, and what was just built for me and that I was just unconscious of? And I found out, about I would say probably about 90 to 95% of who I thought I was, I had no part in making. And so a lot of my time, I feel, was spent dismantling those things.
To build it back up.
Yeah, and I found that building it back up is not easy. It's to try and essentially build a self, so to speak, is, you know, there's a reason why it's done unconsciously, because it's like, I guess it brings out this self-consciousness of like, oh, now I'm aware of, you know, how awkward I'm in a situation if I'm trying to contrive all my hand movements and what I'm saying, and it's like, there's way too much things to think about. So it's like, how do you build yourself up from there? And I'm still in the process of doing that. And I would say it's more or less not a process of building something up, but uncovering something. I would say there's a real distinction between those two ways of engaging with
something
yourself.
That's always been there.
And
okay.
There's a motif that's a motif I really love that I hear in songs, and it's not something done with lyrics, it's something done with actual sound and music. That sense of like, oh, I'm returning to here, I've been here all along. You know what I'm saying? In music, they do that with certain melodies. They'll start off with that, and then they'll return, and then everything strips away, and there's that melody. Oh, it's always
and even
been
maybe stripped to even more to its core. And I think in To Build a Home, it's just those three notes. The dun, dun, dun,
yes, exactly.
That's the like. Exactly. We're back here. Like this is us. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I like that. I hadn't thought of the return to self as like that's part of.
It wasn't necessarily, you don't need to manufacture yourself. It's like to be authentic is it's almost something you don't try to do. It's something you just let go into.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Hideaway by Jacob Collier.
Hideaway, Jacob Collier.
Take me anywhere you wanna go. You know that my love is strong in my hideaway. Softly, like the calm that follows storm, find what I've been searching for all along in my hideaway. Even when I close my eyes, darling, I will always stand wide awake in my hideaway. Touch me like I've never loved before, in a place that I adore, in my hideaway. I know whichever way the wind may blow, there will place for me to go in my hideaway. Whether you be lost or found, darling, if you've gone astray, singing down, 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 follow down, 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 going down, down, follow down, down, going down, 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 when the rain falls, falling down, to the sound, down, down, down to the sea, down, 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 oh that river to the depths of me. When the rain falls, falling down, down to the sea, down, flow that river, down to the depth of me, to the depth of me. When the rain falls, falling down, let me feel the sky and feel the moon. Let me sing an honest tune to my hideaway. Trusting wherever I go wandering, I'll find a home in everything in my hideaway. Maybe you can come to stay, and I will meet you someday, someday, far away, in my hideaway.
There you have it. Hideaway by Jacob Collier.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's a very free song, isn't it? Like it just kind of just goes wherever. I
Yeah.
almost thought it was quite like dissonant
Mhm.
and like a bit clashy at first.
Mhm.
And I was kind of panicking a little bit. I was like, oh shit, maybe it's just a bit of a shit song, to be completely honest. And
Ah,
then,
yeah.
you just then kind of immerse in that. And I really enjoyed it. And it's funny, I'd really written it off in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
So yeah, thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
No
a
worries,
lot.
no worries. And look, there's
yeah.
no pressure to like everything.
Oh, I know.
that
Yeah.
people
No,
play, so he's definitely completely different music. Like he does all the music himself. Like he's a very musical person. But he's, I think because I think the standard way is to have a lot of musicians bouncing off of each other. It's if you don't have that, I guess positive is that you're a bit more, you can be more unique because it's just you making the song.
Yeah.
Like, so it's so yeah, like his tastes can be pretty out there at times, and hence why I said, like, look, some of his songs are pretty out there, like harmonically and like what he does. But this one I love. I love yeah, what he's been able to do there, and just, you know, I mean, the lyrics are lovely, but just from a musical standpoint, yeah, I just find it just took me places. I don't even know why at some points it did, but yeah, it really did.
I think that Hideaway, from my understanding of hearing it firsthand, then pretty does a pretty good job of encapsulating what that song is. Yeah, I feel like it. I don't know. It was very magical, very mystical. The banjo is, I think it's a banjo. I don't know. Really enjoyed that.
Yep.
And yeah, where can you remember where you first heard that song?
I think it was just in my room on Spotify.
Okay. I need something better than that, Matt. Come on, we need a Machu Picchu. No, sorry. Go on.
No, yeah. If I'm honest, that's I think the first place that I heard it, but because I kind of tilted my head at it, and it took me a couple listens to really digest it, and then I really went into Jacob Collier as a musician, and it's. I mean, yeah, the song's beautiful. Him as a person, though, if you would ever look into him, he's just a pretty mystical soul. Like, he's very fearless in a feminine way. And I guess what I mean by that is, usually when we think of the word fearless, we think of like a forthright, like that, like with the fist up, sort of, I can conquer anything. But his sort of fearlessness, and what I perceive to be the feminine form of that, is very much arms open, very much sort of like a Jesus type. Not saying he's Jesus, but I'm saying the
Open.
That sort of symbol of him, where it's very open and vulnerable.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I found that in him, and I found the way that he creates music and how he is in general is very much worthy of emulation. And yeah, there's a lot of songs like that for me with him. And this was one of them. And it's on theme for the last song as well. I think that the Hideaway, you can be very reclusive in it, but it can be a very revealing and revelatory place as well, which to me that song represents. It's just like if it has a little coziness to it, and it really opens up at the end. So yeah.
Cool. Do you think there was an intended purpose of the song? Do you think that obviously, as I was saying, it feels very free spirited. It's just kind of, it sounds like he's sat there and he's completely improvised a song. I know that that's how songs are made, but I mean, like, it really doesn't feel like he has any restriction on where he takes a song per se, and that's why it's almost got that kind of dissonant feeling to it.
Yep.
Do you think that he sits and he thinks about what he's trying to intend from the song? And
no,
and it's come okay.
No, I think it's a good question. I think he listens for it. And it's something that I've learned as well in the creative process of the difference between trying to create something. Ironically, to my mind, a lot of creativity is being receptive and not actually manufacturing something, like kind of like what we were talking about before, but to channel something, which is very much a process of being open and receptive rather than nailing something down. So, and I think from what I know of him, he's very intuitive with his decision making, and kind of lets the sound and the music carry him through. And yeah, to my mind, the purpose of the song, although I don't know if that was his intention when he started writing it, but it feels to me like an ode to his music room, which he has in London. He's got this music room he grew up in and makes all of his music from. or most of it now. And from what he's spoken about it, it's a completely safe space for him to do and explore whatever he wanted. And to me, this song is just an ode to that space, to have that is a pretty rare thing. Like, as a person, there's a lot of people that don't have a space where it's just theirs and they can do whatever they want, metaphorically or literally. And so, we're pretty lucky if we get to have a little space to ourselves, a little room, a little whatever, house, room, a space maybe elsewhere from home that you go to, the beach or whatever it is.
Yeah, I really only learned the value of that this year. I've been away from home, really from home for the last 4 or 5 years now. Living in different places with friends in the UK, and then obviously moving over here about 15 months ago. But I really hadn't realised the effects of not having my own space until actually very recently, where I made the decision to, I haven't said to you, but I've decided to move to house sit for somebody who's travelling for 6 months.
Oh, nice.
Nice. The decision behind that was after that retreat that I'd done. I really felt the value of having my own space and what I will be able to, how freeing that will be.
Yeah.
And I've never really, I think it's always been a little bit of a fear of needing others as a crutch to kind of not be in my own home and in my head. And
like you're saying, you felt like you've used other people as a crutch to not be by yourself.
Yeah, big time. I think that it's scary being on your own, as you kind of talked about earlier. But actually, in that isolation, if you can find that peace and find it as a hideaway per se, or it's very freeing. Yeah. And then you're when you are in relation to others, you feel a lot more connected to them.
Yes.
And that's been the push to go into my own space. Now the opportunity's arisen, regardless of other things that it then, the cons per se of doing that. Yeah, that's cool. And I know as well, Billie Eilish and her brother, Phineas, they created all their music in that one room, and they still, I think, create music in that one room.
Yep.
I
think so. I think they they use production studios and stuff as well, but I think they still use it. And it's not like I'm sure it's not the best equipment, but there's something about an actual space which can breed creativity.
Well, also with that song, it's just reminding me, you hear the movement on the strings. I don't know what that's called. There's probably a term for that, but when you're playing the guitar and you hear the fingers sliding, and there is some sort of weird, authentic feeling about that. It's not, as you say, it's not manufactured. It's just completely raw.
And it's it's interesting in sound creation. A lot of what they're trying to do is replicate the imperfections of an instrument, because we require, I think, quite rightly so, authenticity. We don't want perfection. We want authenticity. We want to hear a piano's little creaks with the pedal, or the guitar, the slide up. All of that is, if it's lost, then it feels robotic and inhuman. And I think it's a great analogy for what we want with ourselves and other people. It's we'd much rather someone who's honest and authentic rather than someone who's perfect and tripped up. It's that's
and they're
so
hard to
valuable.
come by though. And even me, because I've been for a long time, and only now I'm kind of starting to really be vulnerable with people. But everything for me was about image, and it may not have looked like that from afar, but it really is hard to enjoy your imperfections. I really mean that. I've noticed that from knowing your music taste since I've met you, you do, and even the music that you made and the song that you shared with me, which I'm sure will be, once it's released, a fantastic hit with lots of people. It's a pretty cool song.
Thank you.
It's got that edge to it where it's that rawness, and it's certainly not manufactured. You can hear that it's made. You can almost hear the creation of it. I don't know.
Yep.
You hear that somebody is putting their heart on the line and they've made a song. And there's no You know, it's kind of like the antithesis of auto-tune, or yeah, I don't know, like there's something quite special about that. And actually, it doesn't. I can't really think of much music that I listen to currently that aligns with that sort of stuff. But from hearing it from these songs and from what you said, I think I'll look forward to kind of looking out for that. So, so thank you for sharing that. That's cool.
No, just on the back of what you were saying about, you know, the crutch with that people can use with other people and not finding solitude. It's and then when you kind of sit with solitude for a while, you start to relate to others better, because I think the more you're connected with yourself, the more you can see yourself in everyone else.
Absolutely.
It's almost like if there's something that you reject utterly in someone, you can almost, I've found that you can almost 100% relate it to something that you've rejected in yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can't relate to this person, it must mean that I haven't found this is an undiscovered part of myself.
Yeah. My mum would be high-fiving you right now. She loves that idea so much. Yeah. No, you're absolutely sorry.
Yeah. No. There's just a lot of projection that can happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I think a lot of that solitude. Not that I embody this all the time, but a lot of it is listening to yourself rather than talking as yourself. I think there's a difference between if you really are silent, and there's only moments I can really tap into this, but if I can really hold that space within myself for long enough, I'll start to hear myself rather than sort of identify with that which is talking or speaking in my own mind. There's a difference between those two modes.
Yeah.
And I think it's the way that I've heard and I've experienced to be creative is ironically not to create or manufacture, but to listen and be receptive. So it's obviously a balance between those two things. But yeah, I think the short of it is I resonate with how hard it can be to be in solitude, but how valuable it can be.
Yes.
Okay, so this next one is Life's for the Living by Passenger. So
Cool.
Do you know Passenger?
I do, but only because I know the song, I think, Let Her Go.
It's popular
which was just a big tune growing up. But I can't say I listened to, I assume, his music, or is it a band? Or
No, it's him.
Okay.
It's him and his song.
But he's obviously got a lovely voice. I do like that song. Tell me more.
It's different vibe. It's very simple. I think simple in terms of it's not pretentious or grandiose. It's very, I feel like, raw and down to earth. And as opposed to the one before, which was more to me about the musicality of it and the places sonically he went. This is I love his lyrics, and they really paint a picture. Every time I listen to the song, it really almost invades my mind with a story. He's a storyteller. So I guess I'll let it speak for itself, but I'll go ahead, hey? Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, grey clouds wrapped round the town like elastic. Cars stood like toys made of Taiwanese plastic. The boy laughed at the spastic, dancing around in the rain. While laundrettes clean clothes, high heels rub toes, puddles splashed huddles of bus stop crows, dressed in their suits and their boots, where they all look the same. Took myself down to the cafe to find all the boys lost in books and crackling vinyl, and carved out a poem above the urinal that read, don't you cry for the lost, smile for the living, get what you need and give what you're given. Life's for the living, so live it, or you're better off dead. packet. Stars shone like buttons on an old man's jacket. We needed a nail, but we tacked it till it fell off the wall. While pigeons pegged drains, sparks flew like planes. The rain showed the rainbows in the oil stains. When we all had new iPhones, but no one had no one to call. And I stumbled down to the stomach of the town, where the widow takes memories to slowly drown. With a hand to the sky and a mist in her eyes, she said, don't you cry for the lost, smile for the living. Get what you need and give what you're given. Life's for the living, so live it, or you're better off dead. You can have them back, son, when you paid off your mortgage and loans. Oh, hell with this place, I go it my own way. I stick out my thumb and I trudge down the highway. Someday someone must be going my way home. Till then I'll make my bed from a disused car, with a mattress of leaves and a blanket of stars. And I stitch the words into my heart with a needle and thread. Don't you cry for the lost, smile for the living. Get what you need and give what you're given. You know life's for the living, so live it, or you're better off dead. Don't you cry for the lost, smile for the living. Get what you need and give what you're given. Life's for the living, so live it, or you're better off dead.
Okay. Life's for the living. Yeah, so the lyrics in there, yeah, for me, really paint a picture, and as a storyteller, and the power of writing like that is it's just something I don't naturally do. Like we were talking before we started about the power of being a storyteller, and that seems to be your natural inclination.
Thank you.
And for me, it's something that I like. If someone asked like how my week was, or like lefty is probably best, or like something about my past, I'll be short and concise. Like I won't be colorful with it. And it's something that maybe it's just a lack of regard for the past, and I just sort of like I'll palm it off and not really know what it is really. I just maybe it's just I don't like talking about myself, or maybe I don't know what it is, but it's not my natural inclination. Is to create or to embellish stories or whatever, but there's something powerful to it, and so when I hear songs written like that sort of draw you in, it's not trying to sort of convince you of an idea or try and explain something, it's just telling a narrative, and there's obviously lessons through that narrative. But I just love that way of writing. So I'll say. But even something as simple as, while the evening pulled the moon out of its packet, stars shone like buttons on an old man's jacket. Like, it's just like seeing, like a child would, that's how they'd see the moon, sort of coming out of a packet,
Yeah.
Like, and it's just the way that I feel like a child would see the world. It's like, just very, I don't know how to explain. I think it's just a child like returning to that without all these preconceptions of, oh, that things work this way and things are very ordered and
Yeah.
I've got all these conclusions. If you kind of look at it fresh, which, you know, there's been points where you're able to do, or I've been able to do, you kind of see things fresh the first time. You're like, oh, it's kind of like it's, I don't know, these sort of metaphors come out like, oh, moon's being pulled out of its packet.
Yeah, it's like when you end up stargazing again and you're looking up and you're like, fuck, it is just actually so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you just forget of its like simple beauty.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that just on that childlike notion, like in my last relationship, I very much was closer in touch with how to be childlike again and enjoy being. It's not immature, but it's playful.
Playful, yeah.
And I really struggle with that. Like I think that I like being playful is often perceived and judged as I suppose immature or cringe, or you know, certain negative connotations. And thankfully someone had shown me how much beauty there is in just that kind of playfulness and just seeing life as its simplest but beautiful form.
Yep.
I think we lose a lot of that in, you know, in society. Like you're very much encouraged to kind of grow out of that.
Yes.
And
become productive all the time.
Yeah,
and make sure you're useful.
And it does really feel like that song, and I think that was probably my favourite of the three actually. It did really feel like he loves music. Yeah. I really felt that from that song.
Yeah.
And he loves the playfulness of it. Yeah. And also he's just clearly a very intelligent writer, and you know, about the idea of life is for living, and anything else you might as well be, you know, you're better off dead.
Yeah, you're better off dead.
And
if you're worried about the future and security and, you know, sacrificing the present for the future, although that's a noble pursuit and we need to do that sometimes, if you're not smelling the flowers, it's useless.
Yes.
All of this productivity is gone to waste if you're not actually sitting there and going, oh,
and taking it in.
Yeah, taking it in. Yeah, and I feel like this is a song that really gets to that point. Probably right here is best.
Just say
Yep. So there's a verse, if you don't mind me just reciting it.
Go for it.
Well, I'm sick of this town, this blind man's forage. They take your dreams down and stick them in storage. You can have them back, son, when you've paid off your mortgage and loans. Oh, hell with this place. I'll go it my own way. I'll stick out my thumb and trudge down the highway. Someday, someone must be going my way home. Till then, I'll make my bed from a disused car, with a mattress of leaves and a blanket of stars. And I'll stitch the words into my heart with a needle and thread. Which are just, it's just like a, fuck that way of life. Like I'm done with being conservative with my energy and my pursuits and my dreams.
Yeah.
And like sticking them down, putting them in storage. Exactly.
Yeah.
And just the way that it's conveyed in the actual, you know, the story of it, that he's just like, you know, sticking his thumb, trudging down the highway, and he's just sleeping out in the open with the stars for a blanket. It's just beautiful. It's just.
I wonder if he actually did that.
Yeah. Be good.
Whether it's just but it does feel like that. Like going back to the time when you were caravanning, and it is just like that, relieving yourself of the pressures of the world and just existing in it, and in that space you learn so much about yourself.
Yeah.
And
well, a lot of my music was born from that time.
Yeah.
And all it really needed was some space to kind of be shown, like that. This is what you do when you've got nothing to do. You play music.
Yes.
It's one of the things, you know, and you really need to do nothing for a while to find that sometimes, and just persist with that emptiness, as morbid as that sounds. But you know, it's true. So, I really love that song.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that too, and you remind that hearing his voice again, because I haven't listened to that music since I listened to Let Her Go, but actually as a kid I fucking love that song. Like, he has got an amazing voice, and I've just realised I've definitely gone the wrong way, because this is a leap, he just I really feel like, and I think also because of the discussion we've had in the car, like I do really feel like there's certain musicians who have like a deep love for music, and it's not about anyone else's ears but theirs, and like and he like that song he has written like it's him.
Yes.
And he does really convey that. Yeah, I really enjoyed that song. I really enjoyed all the music. And thank you for bringing on each song.
My pleasure.
Is it straight over?
Left.
Left, okay.
Yeah, and then left at the end of the road.
You've got a very unique music taste, actually. And you obviously share some passion for the deepness of music, and I think that actually everyone shares that in some level, but often people feel quite disconnected from it, or it's out of awareness. And actually, what I've found is that when I have started to delve deeper into lyrics of songs that I just thought I loved, I love them even more, and I realised, fuck, like that really resonates with me.
Yeah.
And left or right?
Left, and then right at the roundabout.
And and so it's an absolute pleasure to hear the 3 songs that you brought on, and my hunch is that you could have brought on 50 songs.
Yeah.
Straight right.
And I tried to pick ones. I tried to pick ones that would be diverse, and I think they were musically. But but I feel like the message, there's definitely some overlap there between the 3 songs of, I guess, what my aspirations for as a human being. I mean, a lot of it subconsciously, but consciously as well, of what I resonate with, or the intentions behind the songs. Right here. So despite different walks of life expressing similar things in different ways, and I feel like that's kind of the beauty of music, is like you can have the same experiences as someone completely different and express them in completely different ways. And that's almost the beauty of it, is like, how do you take this almost fundamental idea or experience that everyone has and synthesize it into something that's your own story or your own way of expressing that. And so I feel like I'm pretty, and I feel like you are as well, like pretty open musically speaking. Like you're not zoned in on one genre. You're just, if it's good music, it's good music.
Yeah, I do firmly believe that. And all the time I am reminded of how genres that I don't really touch at all, I just love. Like I really enjoyed that song, and that's not. I don't really listen to that many newer ballads. Like I listen to, and I'm not sure if Billy Joel would count as ballads, but some of his music is it feels of that ilk, that is very much just about a love for music and conveying a bit of a story, or you know. But I don't listen to Passenger. I don't listen to Jacob Collier. I don't listen to Cinematic Orchestra. But I really did enjoy each song. And for completely different reasons. And so, again.
Well, thanks for allowing me to express them. Like it's again, I love the process of just trying to search for the songs. There's a couple of those that came to me straight away, and there's one that I had to kind of do some digging for. But because I wanted to really find songs that hit me at a particular moment or that had a powerful effect. So it was a nice process.
Good. I'm glad.
Talking through it. And straight, and then we're there.
Yes. Well, we are coming towards the end of the journey, Matt.
Yes.
And I think it's probably worth a bit of closure.
Yep. All right. Like and subscribe. There's more to come. I think it's just going to get better and better. The format's obviously there. It's been a pleasure, man. I've enjoyed it.
It has. Yeah. I felt excited coming into it. I feel even more excited now for what's to come, and we're going to have some really elaborate sing-along songs. We're going to have some really deep, soulful, like it's going to be everything, because the people we're going to have on are going to be
as diverse
completely
as the music.
Exactly. And so please do keep following this project, and I'm excited to share it with you all.
All right.
Cheers.
All right.